So, good afternoon. First of all, thank you for being here. My name is Daiane Castro. I'm a student at the Military Institute of Engineering, or Instituto Militar de Engenharia in Brazil. And today I present a systematic literature review on the application of the IDS, more IDS, and bSDD in BIM workflows. And this work was conducted with Professor Giuseppe Miceli Jr. and Professor Paulo César Pellanda. So here's the outline of the presentation. I'll start with an overview, introduce the concept of openBIM, explain the methodology adopted, summarize our main finds, and finish with our conclusions and ideas for future research. So we know that in a digital environment, the reliability of the entire project depends directly on the integrity of the BIM model in terms of quality. And when we talk about BIM, this means ensuring that both alphanumeric and geometric information are structured, complete, and reliable. And in this context, to address challenges related to productivity loss and limited adaptability in data usage, the adoption of standardized and interoperable processes, such as those promoted by openBIM, has gained relevance. And the finds of these studies serve to substantiate the identification of a research gap and represents the starting points of a research aimed at advancing the automation of model quality verification and control process with the use of IDS and data dictionaries. So, but what's openBIM? According to buildingSMART International, an openBIM workflow is any process that incorporates BSI solutions and standards such as IFC or IDS. And we know that each project can define a specific openBIM workflow depending on its goals, but in general, it starts with a definition of information requirements, and they can be defined through an Information Delivery Specification, an IDS. Then, human and design tools create the data set and can be stored in a file based on IFC schema. All of this with the complement of the bSDD service and IFC validation. Then, during the exchange process, we can communicate and collaborate using BIM collaboration format standards, and everything can be managed within a common data environment, a CDE. And what's IDS? IDS is a standard designed to define information requirements in a machine interpretable format, and according to second hour, with the IDS, it's possible to specify on a project level which semantic information should be attached to each object in BIM model at a particular phase of a project. And bSDD, buildingSMART Data Dictionary, is a service to facilitate the distribution of data dictionaries published by independent organizations, and data dictionaries can be defined as centralized repositories containing information about data. So to conduct this review, we followed a structured protocol based on O'Collis methods. And the purpose was to investigate the application of the IDS standards and the data dictionaries within the bSDD in the BIM workflow, and to examine the associated challenges and advantages. To structure this analysis, 6 research questions were defined. The search string was BIM and IDS, or data dictionary. We select articles from these databases, and at first, 117 articles were selected, covering publications from 2014 and 2024. And after applying inclusion and exclusion criteria and appraising quality, 18 articles were selected to synthesize the studies. So let's now highlight the main finds, starting with the contributions. The first is related to information management efficiency through collaboration and interoperability. According to these authors, the use of IDS enhances trust, collaboration leverage, and the power of consistent models. The second concerns the automation of model verification, which may reduce manual efforts and increase consistency and increase agility in the verification process. Another aspect observed is the precise definition of information requirements between appointing and appointed parties. And lastly, some studies report that data dictionaries can be used as a semantic reference to provide a shared understanding. The second question was about the primary challenges associated with the use of IDS. Some colleagues talked about. One of the main limitations is that IDS focus only on alphanumeric information and doesn't support geometric formats or special verification, which may restrict its applicability in certain model checks. Another issue is the current lack of support for authoring environments, and some incompatibilities were also identified by the authors, both between the platforms used for creating and validating IDS and between different versions of IFC and IDS. Lastly, some authors mentioned the need for a broader dissemination and for a cultural shift in compliance checking methodologies. Another question was about the functions supported by the use of IDS and or bSDD. In general, IDS is used in process as illustrated in this diagram, and the most cited functions were requirements definition and quality verification, which align with the concept of openBIM, workflow, and IDS, but other functions were also mentioned, like model enrichments, quality control throughout the modeling process, and the use of data dictionaries for other uses, like documentation for the preservation of historical heritage, for example. About the main tools employed, for IDS development, the most cited tools were usBIM.IDS and IDS Converter. And for verification, the most frequent cited was Blender with Bonsai add-on and IFC tester, due to their ability to read both IFC and IDS files and perform compliance checks. About BIM model uses that IDS and bSDD are used, there were many model uses cited, such as capture existing condition and author design model, review design models, analyze energy performance, and analyze other engineering. Although some studies mention cost estimation and planning as potential applications, these were not explored, suggesting a gap for future research. The last question was about the technical standards that are most frequently cited in the preparation of the articles, and this graph shows their co-occurrence. The most cited standards were these with the 4 biggest circles, and this analysis was important to see the relevance of the regulations to the topic and what has been examined alongside IDS. So, based on the finds discussed in this review, we can say that the literature indicates that the use of data dictionaries and the IDS standards significantly contributes to the workflow within the BIM context, but some challenges remain, especially the limited support for geometric data and specific requirements, and the fact that IDS alone can't fully support all aspects of use case analysis. As a contribution, this study intends to encourage the academic community to propose solutions to overcome the challenges identified, and to explore the integration of IDS and bSDD for definition and validation of requirements, and to expand their application to other BIM use cases, such as quantity surveying and planning. Future research may focus on investigating the technical aspects of this integration of IDS and bSDD, and to apply the solutions identified to overcome current challenges and to develop an integrated IDS bSDD workflow for model quality verification, for model quality control and verification, in my case with particular emphasis on budgeting for public works, which is the focus of my current research. So thank you for your attention. If you'd like to connect or discuss any parts of our research, please feel free to reach out. My contact information is here. Obrigada.